Hey, what's good YouTube? My name is Harris and you're watching another episode of BRG Mx5. In today's episode, we're installing these LED headlights, 7-inch round, onto the MX5. I've swapped them back to the pop-ups because, you know, NA, Mx5, Miata, you need to have pop-ups. And I've just got some OEM headlights in there which are different. So the right side is different to the left. And these LED headlights, I've gone with this because it has a clear cut between low beam and high beam. Low beam or high beam, I'm not sure which one just yet. And for New Zealand standards, you need to have a good cutoff. Unlike the US, we can't just run the LED light bars because that is illegal. Hopefully this LED light, these two round boys, will give me a bit more light output. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the OEM stuff, it's just the halogen lights are a bit old school, so let's get to it. First, let's remove the headlight and the shroud and all that sort of good stuff. Okay, now let's remove the headlight. Now you don't have to remove all the sort of springs and all the screws. There are just 3 that surround the bowl, and if you get those off, you can twist off the metal clip that holds the light in. Oh! The first thing you want to establish is whether or not which one is the high beam and which one's the low beam. So I'm going to plug it in here, which is an H4 connector, and see which one, which orientation, this way or that way. Alright, so the high beam is at the top and the low beam's at the bottom. That's because it's hitting the reflector on the top and coming down this way, so it should be like this. Now that we know what orientation it's supposed to be in, let's put it in. Okay, let's just double check that it still works. Fantastic. The only thing that might change is that I can't really tell from this angle whether or not it's rotated flat, so whether this black bar is parallel to the ground, so I might need to spin this LED light if I can. I can a little bit. If it's not flat, I just have to adjust these 3 screws, turn the housing, and then bolt it back in. That looks pretty sweet, but what is this? What is this box? What's in this mysterious brown cardboard box? What is this? Is this a bonus round? Alright, time to replace these old yellow indicators with some crystal ones that don't have the orange bulb. What people don't understand is that these screws are not meant to fully come out. They're supposed to stay inside the housing. Alright, out with the old, in with the new one. Let's see if they fit for starters. That way I can run my old bulbs. Wow, they do fit. That's awesome. Okay, but I do have a spare running light, which I might just not run them because this looks awesome. Actually, I've got a plan. So these crystal indicators come with a lume and a double filament bulb, and how I can tell is that there's 2 points at the bottom there, which means one circuit activates one of the filaments. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if you can try. Yep, you can fairly see it. Let me get some. Come on, camera. Here we go. So you can see like 2 little towers. One tower is the running light, and the other tower is the indicator. So you always have the running light on, which is the one that's normally on this side here, and then when you indicate, it will flash on the same bulb. But the reason why I don't want to run this bulb and that is because it's still showing the orange, and you can kind of see the orange LEDs poking out through there. So yeah, using this double is pretty good, but it's not the same. If I were to also use this lume, I will need to chop up this wiring and then wire this correctly so that I think it's the white. Yeah, it's the white and the red, I think it's for the indicator, and the white and the green is for the running light. So I've got to think about how I'm going to do that. I'm actually pretty happy that I can get rid of this ugly sin here, because these gray connectors have a tendency to break. Like you can see there, it's all munted, so that's why I had to use this electrical tape to stick it onto the indicator housing here. But now that I don't have any, it's we're good. I just won't run any running lights. Now you can get these crystal indicators from the internet. I bought it off a guy locally who bought it off the internet, I think, eBay and what have you. But the fitment's pretty good. The screws are nice and tight. Or are they? This one goes way in, but this one doesn't. Let me just check the wiring. Could be caught on something. There we go. Now we can tighten it. Awesome. So we're just going to wait for the sun to go down so we can do a test on the headlights and also do a test on this indicator. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of crack in there. I think I might just give this a quick wash. What do you know? This is like a spongy thing. It's kind of disgusting, but so in the MX5/Unos Roadster, I believe they don't come with this being illuminated. The US guys, so you US guys out there with the Miatas, they have indicator, some like positional lights in here. I think Canadians do too. I could be wrong, but I've always wanted to see if I can make like a template and then mount maybe that light that was supposed to be in here and put it into this, so that we can have, well, in New Zealand we don't have this, so it would be cool to have this positional light, and it looks like the front corners and the back corners as well. We just have this blanking plug here that does nothing. But these are cat eyes, I think, so it would be cool to implement something like that. So I've got the camera set up on the bonnet, and the middle of the frame should be right bang smack between the middle of the 2 heat spots, and you can already tell that the white LED, which is on that side, it covers a lot more on the extremities than the halogen, which is on this side. So I'm going to cover up one by one with my body, and you can see the difference. So here is the LED, and here is the halogen. LED, halogen. And the biggest difference is that the halogen's got like this big heat spot, and then not much off to the side, which could be beneficial in a more like direct kind of lighting condition. But you can't really complain on that spread. And the biggest thing here is the cutoff, which a lot of LED bars don't have. You can see how there's a clear definition between no light, light, no light, light, which is perfect for New Zealand conditions. You US guys who run the LED bars, man, you guys are crazy. If you go back to the halogen, it's got like kinda, let me flip my thing around, it's got kind of a split, but you know, there's a lot of heat and not much dissipation to the either side. So yeah, so that's that. Also I did adjust the height of this LED light a bit lower because before it was a bit high. But we'll take a look at the high beam and see what it looks like. Okay, we'll do the same test. I'll go stand in front of the LED light, and then in front of the halogen. So just like the low beam, the high beam does a lot better at doing the extremities, but the halogen, there's quite a heat spot around there. So I think this is a pretty clear indication of performance. And obviously the LED is a lot whiter light than the yellow incandescent light bulb. So now that I've got this dialed in, the only thing that I haven't been able to do is to dial in the left and right bias. But you know, just looking at the LED side, it covers quite a huge range, so I might not need to do that, just the height. So I'm gonna pull this in and we can check. Oh, the indicators. Let's do the indicators. Okay, let me turn off the high beams and the lights. Let's push the indicator button. Alright, let's see how much brighter. You can't really tell on the camera looking at the screen, but in person, because this light is a reflector light, meaning that the angles of the mirror are on the back side, not on the lens itself, it looks a lot brighter than the refractor kind of light where all the mirrors are on the front of the lens. And I'll probably explain it with this thing off. Okay, so a refractor light, you can see all these ribs that are on the lens itself. So it doesn't matter what bulb you use, all that light's going to come out through the lens, and that's how you get the pattern or like the hot spots. And the cutoff is because of this ribs, and they refract the light to wherever the beam pattern this is supposed to be. Whereas a reflector light, the bulbs do matter because you can see all those mirrors at the back there. If you've got like a HID, for example, it shines only well in one way, whereas if you have a normal bulb, it shines 360 like a sphere. So it's using up all those mirrors to shine out. And a lot of people, a lot of guys replace, if you have a refractor type headlight, which is like this, you can see how like the lens are inside. And actually, yeah, the headlights, look, headlights are on the, so this is a refractor, lens, and lens. So you can replace the lens with a HID retrofit, because the fisheye of the bulb doesn't touch any of the refractors, any of the mirrors on the back of the reflector light, so it just shines straight. But if you were to put a HID in here, you've got the fisheye of the HID going through the lens, which has these ribs, which means it distorts the final beam pattern that comes onto the road. So that's why most people, the newer generation anyways, uses the reflector, not the refractor. What you doing, cat? So I hope I explained a little bit more about the lights and how they all work. I know it's not a definitive know-it-all video on how they work, but it's something that I picked up, and if you want to run proper headlights and not blind oncoming traffic, this is the way to do it. Definitely get these LEDs, once again from eBay, online, wherever you shop from. This kind of style especially, it has the high and low beams, and we saw that the cutoff on the garage door here was really good compared to the halogens, so I'm definitely going to recommend this style, a 2-style LED, rather than the individual small LED bulbs that you get on light bars and what have you. So I'm going to replace the right hand side, well the other side, with the LED and the indicator, and then look at maybe putting some cool thing on the side there for the yellow refractor, cat eye reflector bits on the corner, but I might put that in a different video, who knows.